everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Today we have a special guest, Dr. Pia Fenimore, who is a pediatrician. She is with the Lancaster Pediatric Associates and is the Chief of Pediatrics for Lancaster General Penn Medicine. But even more important, she is a graduate of McCaskey, class of '88, and has a grad from McCaskey who just graduated last year and a current student. So thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to talk with us, Dr. Fenimore.
Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Rao.
Thank you. With everything that's going on, it was so important for us to talk to a medical professional such as yourself. So I have a couple of questions people have also asked about. So I've heard the Johnson & Johnson vaccine may not be quite as effective against the COVID virus as the other two vaccines that are available. So the question is, should I wait to get vaccinated until I'm able to get the Moderna or the Pfizer, or should I go ahead with the Johnson & Johnson?
That's a great question. And the quick answer is no, you should definitely not wait. This is not a situation where you need to comparison shop between vaccines, and every day that you delay getting the shot is a day that you're not protected. The Moderna and the Pfizer vaccine and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, all three offer the same 100% protection from dying from COVID and from hospitalization for COVID. So I think that's a really important point, 100% protection from death from COVID-19 virus. And in a world right now where we now have 500,000 deaths in this country from the virus, that's the important thing to stay focused on. The other thing is that this notion that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine isn't as effective is not really fair and is not accurate, because it's like comparing apples to oranges. More details are that the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was tested in a different environment in terms of there were more variants of the virus, more different strains, some mutations than the Moderna and the Pfizer, which of course were tested earlier. So we're very confident that in fact their efficacies are very similar and that they all provide very good protection against COVID-19.
And are the vaccines safe?
Yes, I can confidently say they are safe. To date, about 50,000 people have received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and millions of people have received all of the other ones in this country. There have been no serious adverse events associated with the vaccine. Side effects overall have been very mild, usually sore arm, maybe a fever, some muscle aches, sometimes a headache, all very brief and all very well tolerated. The vaccine went through the same rigorous testing and safety monitoring as all vaccines do, and have received FDA approval for those. I also think it's important to think about a vaccine in terms of risk. So again, 500,000 people in this country have died from COVID-19, and no one has died from the COVID-19 vaccine. So, I think we need to accept a few little mild side effects in order to get this protection.
Yeah, that's really great for people to understand that no one that has taken any of the three vaccines has died. That's great news. So do you think that once the majority of people in our school district are vaccinated, the majority of staff, that it will be safe to bring back students to school full time and resume, a lot of our normal activities?
So I understand that that is an incredibly complex question, and there's a lot of moving parts to that. But yes, I do think that once the majority of school staff is vaccinated, that it is safe to bring students back full time. And there's a couple reasons why I say that. In January, the American Academy of Pediatrics summarized a bunch of studies on schools and COVID transmission. And it's very clear that opening schools for in-person learning does not correlate with an increase in community COVID transmission. And we also know that schools and students have not proven to be the super spreaders that we once were very worried about. So it's helpful that we have some new evidence to really back that up. But since there's still a great deal about this virus that we don't know, I do think that we can open comfortably for in-person learning, but we should still keep all of those risk mitigation efforts that we have in place, such as wearing masks, social distancing as much as possible, hand washing, things like that. I've seen firsthand what a toll this has taken on our children and teens in my work. And it's not just from an education standpoint, but their mental and physical health as well. So I just would urge every staff member to sign up, get vaccinated so that we can safely move our kids back into school full time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fenimore. Very enlightening, very clear about the vaccines and what we should do. And the fact that the governor and the legislators are now putting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine in play specifically for schools, I think that's wonderful, and people should not pass up that opportunity.
Definitely not. And I agree with you. I think it's great that we've finally gotten our educators prioritized. And I hope it happens as fast as possible.
Yeah, me too. Well, thank you again for joining me today.
Of course. Have a great day.
You too.